we obviously talk a lot about high school hoops, but it's hard to ignore tomorrow's big battle of I-75 matchup between the University of Toledo and the Bowling Green State University Falcons. The women play tomorrow at noon. We'll talk a little bit more about that one later. The men playing at 5 o'clock. Now, we have a ton of local connections with the schools being so close and us being located in Toledo, but it's kind of fun to look back at their old rosters and see some folks that are currently involved with high school athletes that maybe played or were big fans of the rivalry back in the day. A couple of Rossford coaches found themselves on either side of the rivalry way back in the day. I caught up with them before they hit the road to Elmwood today. The Rossford boys basketball staff heavily features coaches who've played at the next level.
Most of our kids want to go on and play college sports at some sport, whether it's basketball or baseball or football or whatever. And having guys around that have played at the college level, we have that experience. They have that experience, and we feel like we can help them understand the pitfalls that are along the way, the recruiting process, what's really important when you're trying to choose a school.
For two Bulldog assistants, the Battle of I-75 hits extra close to home. Brad Morrison and Kent Murphy both played in the rivalry back in the day, but suited up on opposing sides. Morrison with the Falcons from 1988 to 89, and Murphy with the Rockets from 90 to 92.
Well, obviously, I haven't found any love for them over the years since I left Toledo. That was one we always circled on the calendar when we played. It's certainly one we look at now, and when we're not in pandemic times, I'm certainly in the gym watching that one.
It's a fun rivalry. It always was. It was always a big weekend for us when we played Toledo, and it really is something to look forward to. The MAC is so spread out, and it's such a close, the proximity is so close. It kind of makes it fun. It's certainly not Ohio State, Michigan, but it's kind of like the mini local version, and it's something to talk about, and and have a soda and a pizza over, and yell at the TV a little bit, and have some fun with it.
Even after their playing days are long gone, the friendly rivalry is alive and well.
Brad's not all that friendly, to be honest with you. No, we have a good time with it. I think Toledo kind of owns those series, so it's a lot better for me than it is those guys.
We were a few years apart, but I always give them a hard time. Like whenever Bowling Green wins, I'll send them a text, and then when Findlay beat Toledo in the exhibition game, I also sent them a text. So we have a little fun with it. I did not get an answer back either time.
The Toledo BG game, I'm expecting Toledo. I think Toledo will get them. BG has not been playing that well lately. Toledo is playing very well. Toledo, everybody on the floor can score. Coach Kowalczyk's got them playing really hard, really good defense. So I'm hoping for a Toledo win at 5 and then a Bulldogs win that evening down at Ottawa-Glandorf.
Now, when I asked Coach Murphy what's the toughest part or the best part about working with a Falcon, and his response was, well, I found out that they're not very smart. So obviously all in jest, but the rivalry is alive and well in Rossford. So it's got to be fun to be a part of that. And Dion, you were a part of that big rivalry.
Well, let's just say I was on scholarship during that big rivalry. I don't know how much of a part I played, but nonetheless, it was a great game at that time. I mean, it was, we always talk about the Battle of I-75, and because a lot of my high school buddies went to Bowling Green. I had a couple that played football there, and then there was also some of us that stayed here and played. So it was always kind of fun, in that sense. And now that both teams are doing so well. But I really like BG. I like Justin Turner. I'm going to be honest with you. That guy's special.
Justin Turner is a bucket getter. There's no doubt about it. And his biggest moments come at the end of ball games with the ball in his hands, too. But what's nice about the rivalry, too, and I get a chance to cover the men's and women's teams for Toledo, is both teams are good. They're really good, and they're at the top. Both teams are at the top of the Mid-American Conference, and they easily, in a 3-game tournament, can bring home the trophy. So I think that's big for Northwest Ohio. Kent Murphy said, Toledo's playing really well right now on both ends of the floor. All 5 guys on the floor can score. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It'll be one heck of a ball game for sure.